Okay, today we'll talk about how we
Here,
can use
the
the
end fields want
AI
to reference
navigation
a renderer that is at our plane.
VR applications. So Unity has a set of tools that can
And
make
those
it
scripts,
easy
let's start with point five.
to use the AI navigation applications. We will use the most basic one, the
Press
one
play.
that Unity provides.
We
That
can
is
see that
based on
we choose the
A-star
wrong offset, yeah, because
system,
he's running
Unity
and the
Navmesh.
texture should scroll
So,
that way, not this way.
how
So,
can we
uh,
easily use it in our application? First of all, we need a proper package. So, in window menu, let's use the package manager.
so
Uh,
here we
Here
want
we've
to
got
access
packages
the
that
main
are
texture offset
already in
X,
project.
but why?
I will
Oh,
change it
sorry.
to
Sorry.
Unity registry so that can uh,
So
can import
here,
the
Y
proper
instead of X,
package. And
and here
let's
not
search
scroll value
the
and 0, but 0 and
search
scroll value.
the uh, or
Okay,
sorry.
diving
Now it's
on.
called actually the AI navigation, and we can see that it's already product.
We see now
So
that in our case,
we can
we
see
can
that window
put
that there is
minus
any
0.5.
mesh it will be shown.
Uh,
In this example scene there is none, so let's first create an empty object. Reset out the default
choice
0
spread by yourself, yeah,
and
because
let's
it all
name it
depends on how you position your plane, yeah, what is the rotation and so on.
Perfect.
Okay, we are after some time we are getting pretty big values
Now
of the
we will add proper component.
scroll value,
It will be
and
Navmesh
basically we
surface.
don't want it. So we'll do one more
You can
adjustment here.
see that the default agent is of type humanoid. Let's leave it like that for now. Well, let's generate link.
We will add
And here, yeah,
condition. So
use
if
in
scroll value
geometry um, we can either use the
is greater than
actual
1 or
geometry that is here,
scroll value
or in some
is
cases
smaller than
more
-1,
useful to use
then scroll value
use
equals 0.
data
Because you
from
want to
colliders. But
kind of cut
let's
it.
just use
The
the
effects be the same, but
render
the scroll
meshes
value won't
objects
go to
collection
the high
uh,
amounts
can include all
if the game will
layers,
be running for a long time.
but
Yeah. So I will just
the
save it.
water right now uh, is on uh, the water right now on the default layer.
And
We want to
I'm just
change it
testing if
so
that
that
works.
it will be on
Oh,
auto
I
layer
forgot
to
to
make
change it to
sure
9
that
later.
the
Okay.
characters won't be able to walk on it. So let's change
Oh,
the layer from
what
the
have I done wrong?
default to water. Okay.
Oh my god.
And back in the
Not
Navmesh
and but
surface,
or. Stupid mistake, but
let's uncheck water, UI, ignore writecast,
so once
character
it's
collider, and
-1, it goes back to
so right
0
now we will bake
because
it
in
only
general the
them.
offsets should be in that range, yeah,
Here,
from 0 to 1 basically, or from 0 to or from -1 to 1. So that way we
here
are
we
capping it.
change
Okay.
we could change the default settings such as voxel size or tile size, but
Okay,
here
during the last classes,
only
we added
set
the cube collider to the
change
to our objects.
height
This time we want to
hash.
add a capsule collider.
Okay.
This
And
collider
now
is represented
make
by those green lines, but our
lines
character is not.
will take some time. The pro it depends
Inside
it
those
matters
lines, so we need to adjust it. So first of all, adjust the center position
size
to about 0.85, height to about 1 meter 80,
on its own.
something like that, and that position to about
Okay.
-20.
That's
Yeah, we want our whole character to be inside that collider. Okay, so right now our character is moving, but he's just running in this one place,
okay. Well,
and we want to be able to move
okay.
him in right or left direction. So let's create a simple script to control his position. So yeah, character
I did
controller.
mistake. Here should be also changed to water and so
Okay, let's open up the Visual
so
Studio.
that our character don't walk in it. So once again, make
Okay, so first of all, we need to define how much left or right he can move per second. So let's create a variable for that. So once again, serialized field, those can be private or protected if we want to derive from that. And let's call it
under.
okay. Next, or maybe we will do it later. Another field, so you can see how it. Okay. So when we press the right arrow, okay, we want to move the character to the left. When we press the right, we want to move him to the right. When we press the left, okay, we want to move him to the left. So
we can
we need to check the
introduce
input from the keyboard. Yeah. So once again,
surfaces that are
we create condition if
taken into
input
consideration.
get
We
okay
can
down
change here volume.
okay code,
You can see there is
and our okay code will be
there is cube
right
that
arrow.
indicates the volume. I will edit it.
So when player presses the right arrow key, yeah, we want to change our character transform. Yeah, we want to change his position. So transform position to equals to vector 3
Here,
graph speed. Yeah. So because we are changing the just the x-axis 0 0. Sorry, not equals but plus equal because we want to change it incrementally. Yeah.
And now after
And
changing the colliders,
if
we can see that
left arrow,
not
we want to
included.
do it with the
And as
graph speed
you saw,
minus.
the baking time was a lot shorter. Thanks to the thanks to using the volume setting.
After we
Okay, now that we have
after we save the code, let's assign it to the character.
now that we
Let's
have
of course what I've forgotten.
our
Graph
surface,
speed times time delta time. Yeah.
can also check us one
Because as we already done it a few times, we want it to be time independent. Yeah. So constant value by second. Okay.
yeah.
So let's assign some scrap value by example 2, and let's check that works.
Okay.
And slide
So
down
now,
for.
how do we proceed after creating the surface?
Okay,
Here's
it doesn't work.
steps, but
Well, it works, but not the way we expected, because the changes are minimal, because
objects have
input getk down executed only on the first frame that we pressed
capsule.
the pressed K, yeah? So input
Here, a
get
bit
K,
up. That's up.
because it will be called as long as the K is pressed. So not get K down, just get K.
When we have some object that we want to move, that will be controlled by the AI navigation package, by the Navmesh, we want to add it a Navmesh agent controller.
Okay, it works, but as you
For
can
now,
see, there
let's
can be a
pick
problem when
humanoid.
I move the character out of
Okay.
the screen. So I need to count
And
the
right
X value.
now,
Oh no.
the
Yeah.
agent
So I can see that now
move
in the rightmost
because
position, the character has
right
X at
now
428.
doesn't
Yeah.
have any height.
And at the
So
maximum minus that he should be allowed
let's write
is minus 4.
full script
Oh, maybe let's
that
make it
will
minus 428
control
also.
our agent.
So we need to clamp this value.
Let's create folder scripts,
So here in the update,
folder
we will once again
create C#
access the
script called
we will once again access the transform and cap it.
AI
But to make it
transform.
more flexible, let's define the variable that will say us what are the maximum and minimum values that are allowed. So protected, maybe make it a vector 2, so that the x value will be minimum and the y value will be maximum value that is allowed. So vector 2 min max x value. Okay. We
Control
won't call.
we
We don't
will
want to call this method every frame because
reference
uh,
Navmesh.
this will be stupid. So we want to clamp that value only when either player press right or press left arrow. So we'll create a new voice that will clamp x value.
Agent. Once I added it
In this method,
by
we want to
that library,
get
so let's call it
the transform position x.
now. Uh, need to set target for this
We are
event
creating variable for that current value of x,
at
and
reference to
we are assigning the
transform
value of transform position x here. Next, we will say that we
form
want to change that x current value to
uh, good.
to min max x and min max y. And later we
Okay,
need to assign that value.
and
So uh,
just
transform position
to test if
equals
it's working, let's test
equals new
simple.
vector
So
3
if agent
x current transform position y because we don't want to change it, and
then we
transform
will
position
print
d because we also don't want to change it,
get
and we can't just change the one part of the vector. Yeah.
agent
Okay. Now let's save it.
able to set the destinations. The target
As
is
you can
a
see, the
variable.
min max
And
x
for
value
now, let's make it
variable is
just
exposed in the
target
editor. So
position.
for x, I will just
Yeah,
write minus 428
target
for
target position.
y,
Okay,
y,
save it.
and And what have I forgotten to do?
That's
I created voids, but forgot to call it. So inside those two conditions, we need to call that void to execute it, yeah, and to clamp those values.
reference. That's that target or oh that here time with reference
Okay. You may wonder why did I put the
purpose.
capsule collider on this character? I did it because we want to detect either the collisions or we want to detect
Transmitted
that the
style
player goes in uh, some trigger zones. Yeah. So for now, let's just create the 3D object cube,
here we are. The agent
and
totally ignores us and
let's
he's
place it here.
walking
So
towards
the
the
character will, if we
nation,
move him
yeah,
right, he will collide
and
with
he
it,
reached
but at least.
that destination.
And
Okay, so
let's
far
add
so good.
an rigid body component to this box, to this.
The agent we can change the
In
stopping
this case,
distance.
I don't want the player to
So for example,
charge the cube. Yeah,
now I
I want
set it
him
to
just
5.
to want
Will
him
be
just
pretty big,
to
but you will see
get into the trigger zone of that
how does
element.
it work.
So so we will
Agent
unmark the use gravity
can go
and
directly
mark his kinematic.
target, but as you can see, it stopped
And
much
now we will create another simple
faster
script
than
that
before.
will
Yeah,
at the start will inform us if
about
the player has
$5
collided with
from
or has entered this trigger
position.
zone. Oh, and most important, in box collider
Okay,
settings,
but
we need to
changing
set the
this,
trigger. Yeah. So now let's
we can
create
use
the
this, but
simple script
changing
that
this
will be
is
responsible for that
problematic.
interaction. Let's call it
Take
trigger zone
time,
base.
but of course we can do it. We can also change the agent so that follows us. So let's reference uh, let's reference
Let's hit the start and
our
update methods, and
character.
we will add new method called interact.
Uh,
It
right
may be
now the
protected.
stopping this too. Uh, the
Uh, and we'll call this void when the something enters the trigger zone. So to check if
right
something
now
has entered the trigger zone,
it
we can use
defines
unit function
targets
on trigger
only
enter.
on the
This
first
function
frame, yeah,
method will be called when
for
something
the
enters the
update.
trigger collider trigger.
But
Yeah. So
let's
it
make it
has
a bit
information
different.
about other collider that
So
entered,
once
and
again, I will
in our case, we want to keep it
currency.
simple, but let's make it
We use
protected for now.
uh,
We want to keep it simple,
board, yeah,
so we will just
during our
call interact,
augmented
maybe
classes.
in interact as
So
an
let's
argument, we will
and
send the other
here
also.
also in
So we are basically calling
uh,
our
the
function
classes
interact,
about
and right now for the debug purposes, we will just use
there.
debug.log.
Okay, so IE
And
numerator
for now, we will just
update
write other game object
function.
name. So each time something goes into the trigger zone, we will display name of that object.
Here we'll maybe write it a
So
bit.
have our console. Yeah, what I haven't done, I haven't assigned this script to the cube.
Oh,
So yeah, I keep on forgetting that thing. And I
I
have to. Yeah, so I'm in trigger zone, and as you can see
we
at the
will
bottom,
set the agent position.
I've got
Yeah, hold on.
the I've got the message that the
Later we need to
something in that case our player entered
next time.
uh,
Use
entered
the
this
tool.
area. Yeah.
Oh, wait for seconds.
So that's basic detection of collision,
And let's check it
or in this case,
uh,
trigger enter. So
every 2 seconds.
we want
Okay.
to expand it a bit. So
Will be enough or 2.1.
we will
Make it more.
change our player controller, character controller a bit,
Well,
or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, maybe let's do it differently. Let's create another script that will be our game manager.
so here we can remove that. Can start coroutine, update session. Yeah,
As because we are creating just a simple game, so we don't have
and
to worry about that there will be multiple game managers. Uh, let's make it so that the game manager is a singleton. So first we need to
teleport.
create public static game manager
Yeah,
instance.
follows. And we've got our own stalker that tries.
On start, let's make sure that the
Of course, we
instance
can
is
teleport, so he won't be able
now.
to catch up with us. And I said
We will
stopping
create the
about
serialized files for
true. So
time left.
as you can
So
see, we are not colliding with,
time left.
but actually pretty easy to make it so that we make him move
Next,
for us.
we will
Okay. Uh,
make
so
well, let's make
having
it a constant
that guy following us
constant time reduction.
pretty
So
cool.
each time
Uh,
we
but
enter some
let's
obstacle, we
make
want
it
to
a bit
reduce the time. Yeah.
more useful.
So
For example,
we need to know how much time we should
let's
reduce.
make it
So
so
it will
that
be time
it will
reduce.
be our it will be our portable toolbox or something like that. So
In update function,
uh,
we will add
I will
that time left
change it a bit. Of
12
all, I will
minus time delta time so that the
the
time will go down.
there
If time left will be
slider. Basically, I'm
lower than
owning
0,
a agent here, and
we will
under
create
him
for now placeholder
create
function that will handle that.
objects. Let's make it once again. Oh, okay. I just cylinder will do.
And want to be able to inform game manager that he should
That
reduce the time after the player collides with something. So
that's not
let's create
matter.
public void on time reduce,
Also, that will
and it will be
time.
time left minus uh, minus plus time reduce.
I will
Okay,
add
now
there
uh, in this cube we use
here.
the trigger zone base, yeah,
Scale it
but we will derive from this class. So we will create new class that will be called obstacle,
by kind of stable that
and we will derive
maybe
from
not absolutely
trigger zone base.
mesh collider. X-mesh. Okay. So
Inside trigger zone base, we will change
now
interact from
we've got
protected
it
void to protected
uh,
virtual void so that we can
uh,
overwrite it in obstacle
as
and
some
make sure that
variable.
we've got another function. So
Uh,
protected
and now if we
override void
on it,
interact. And
then
what we
move
want to do, we want to
there.
call the game manager instance We will use the null propagation to ensure that it exists, and
I will use one
we
of
will call the
example.
function on time reduced.
Here we've got our stand
And what? Yeah, I haven't saved here, so didn't add the protected.
let's state it.
Okay, now let's create empty objects that will be our game manager. And let's assign script time left
Okay,
for start. Let's
don't
420, 50 seconds, and reduce some, for example, 20.
table.
And one more thing,
We
here in
already made
cubes
two.
will be our new obstacle.
Just move those
Let's find the derived class.
are on the are table.
So now the time is passing
Okay,
normally. When I enter, you can
so
see that it was reduced by
save
20 seconds once again and once again. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got some game manager. We have a method to reduce time. Uh, let's
I can
make it our obstacle
grab it.
if up so that we can use it in different parts of our project. Now,
And
uh,
when
uh,
I'm done,
now we want the obstacle to deactivate itself once the player hits. So once again, let's go back
back here. Yep.
into
So
our
here we've
script
got our mobile
and change it so that
working
once
station
interacted, the object turns off. Yeah. So
with some tools,
we make game object set active
and it
false.
will follow
This
us.
way, once we get into this
We
cycle, the
go
time will be
this
reduced and the object will
way.
be deactivated. So once again,
Right
right? Yeah,
now,
it works.
we are using the default agent type humanoid,
Now we've got
but
obstacle. We can also create in similar
as you
fashion
can see,
the power up.
the
So let's
table
create
is
a new C# script
already
that will be
humanoid.
responsible for
So
power up.
let's open agent settings, add another agent. Let's name this one moving table.
It will also derive from
Okay.
the trigger zone base.
We will
And here we will
run it
also write a method to
smaller,
override
maybe 0.
method that will override interact
Yeah.
override.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
And in this case,
and
we want to
close it.
increase time. So game manager
And after
instance.
we added it, and here
And
to
in game manager, we will need method. So
uh, and if we leave it like that,
once
the
again, serialized
agent
files.
won't work,
Let's
won't follow us, because we created
time
surface
bonus.
for only
Yeah, let's
humanoid
call it like that.
of agent. I teleport there, there. As you
And
can see,
public void
it's
on
not moving. And if you look at the errors, the
time
agent
left will be increased by
the
time
set
bonus.
destination can only be called on the agent that's on the Navmesh surface. So here we
And in
can
power up, we
either
will call this
change
method
the agent's
on
type
time.
to table, or we can add another surface.
Next, we will create simple objects that will represent our power up. It will be sphere.
That will
Let's move it
that
here like
will
that.
be responsible for the
But
table one.
let's add a rigid body, turn off the gravity,
Let's
make sure that it's kinematic,
copy this,
and let's
paste it,
assign power up.
and only change agent type to
If we look at the game manager, we set
moving
the time
table,
bonus.
make,
Yeah, okay, and back to the game. And what have I
bacon.
forgotten? Yeah, I forgotten to
Yeah,
make it
and
once again.
because right now
Game manager.
our agent self is
Yeah,
blocking
works. Let's
that, so
something
let's
less.
off for a moment,
Also 20.
bake again, yeah, and let's see that there is
Okay.
no
So we will make
empty
prefab from the
steps.
power up.
Let's
Uh,
activate
let's rename
agent.
it to power up.
Okay. And after these changes,
Now we've got power up. We've got obstacle. Uh, each of them either increases time or makes the time uh,
and
or reduces
agent
time. So now let's create
is
pooling mechanism that will spawn our bullets, our power-ups or our obstacles,
maybe I
and
make
also
it
that
with a
we will make
higher.
script that will move them across the plane, and when they reach zone, they will deactivate. Okay, so let's start with
Okay.
creating the object puller.
Yeah, as you can
Inside
see,
discuss, we will inside discuss we will create
he didn't go that way, probably because he can't go
a
by
class
steps.
that defines our pool. It will contain
Oh, yeah,
public fields such as
great.
game object prefab,
Okay, as you could see,
also public.
the agent was able to follow
Or
me
for the sake of
here, going that way.
for our sake,
Yeah.
let's make it
But
perfect.
what if we
Uh,
want to somehow
let's make public tag that will
make it so
public
that
string,
the agent
call it tag, or we can call it name,
needs
that will
the obstacles that
define our object,
modifies his
and also
road
initial to
or
size
cross passage. Let's add another object to our
also
system.
public
So let's
type int
other 3D
initial.
object with
Now, when inside object pooler we have class pool, we can create serialized files for list of the pools. And we can create dictionary that we will use to get pool.
that.
So k will be ink and value will be new of game objects.
Let's make it so that we can grab
And
it.
let's scale it.
Let's our grab interactable
Object.
and change it,
Okay, and now in the start method,
change it dynamic attach. Okay,
we want to
and let's add
fill our
the
object pools dictionary. So
script that will make the
for
dynamic
each
object included. So let's
pool in pools,
add Navmesh obstacle. Okay,
let's define the two game objects. Next, uh, we will create
table
object
me
to the
here.
and add it to the queue
Oh, grab this
or int from 0 to initial pool size.
there.
We want to define game
Blocking
object
agent path. So
bullet
will try
object
to get to me.
associate pool
That
prefab.
here or yeah, from this.
Oh, it seems that we pull
rapid gain, and as
want
you
to enquire
the
enqueue it,
agent
and later we want
move,
to
trying
let this
to
object
avoid
inactive
contact with
so
the
that
obstacle, and he went that way.
it's active.
I
That
think that
is
he really
object
doesn't want
active.
to
We want
come here. Yeah, as you could see, he is
we want to add
actively
it to
avoiding
the object pool dictionary.
this
But
way.
I think will be that pool
Maybe
tag,
because oh,
and whoever will be
check if
object.
go the shortest path.
So yeah, that is
Something here
beginning of the dictionary
not
of our
letting
queue.
him
We will need
go.
to
That's
also add methods to get objects
why
from
then.
pool. So
Oh, oh, yeah. You can see here that for
public
each
main
element
object object
there is problem here. The surfaces doesn't it's not recognized here.
tag.
Uh,
Okay,
how
and
we
now
can check it?
we need
How we
to
can here's
act. So
the
here will be
agents.
okay.
Increase the max slope to 0.9. Put and let's check once again
Plus objects to dictionary. I get value
that make
tag.
time. So I think that might be related to the sliders, but I'm quite okay. There is something wrong with that. We are missing one.
Okay, and it will be main object. After we deploy, we want to activate the object once again. So
Oh,
we will write the
that there is
object from
there.
to get
So
active.
we should buy that.
Next, we will once again enqueue it so that it goes to the back of the line. So
And
now
like so,
of object
so
object
let's
from queue,
save it time.
and we will return object from queue. If we don't find the right dictionary and right queue, we will just return null. So we will have to be careful about that. Okay. Now
Yeah, I forgot to turn off the.
now let's go back to create object that will be responsible for that pool. So object pooler. Let's add the script. Let's define two pools. One will be for
Here,
obstacle,
and
that
he's walking
obstacle,
here.
and one for the power up and stack power
There.
up.
Yeah. Okay, so that fixed the problem.
Okay, now let's create a script
Changing
that will
so
spawn those items in
an agent
our scene. So spawner,
here and on the gain.
here we will make serial protect
Yeah, I
that will reference for object
saw the queue
cooler,
when it was.
and we
Oh,
will create methods
okay.
that will spawn an object. So public voice down.
So this is it. You can create some agents that will walk towards you. If you want to make, for
So
an example, some
we
zombie
want to
game
uh, get
that uh, that lower speed. Oh, yeah, I haven't shown you that. So if I turn down the
okay,
fan,
to be more precise, we will also
would see
a getter method.
that the agent walking
Public
much slower, yeah,
full
but is walking towards, doing his best, follow us. Okay. So, for example, if you want to make some
okay, so we
or something
make
like
the
that, or
color
uh, any application that uh, in which the
random
something is following us, we can do it like this using Navmesh agent. And of course, in case of humanoid
color
characters or any
and so this way we will get a
characters
random
that
tag from the pools, yeah. Now
or
having that tag,
objects that we
we
know
will
how
uh,
they move.
once
Uh,
again access the puller,
Actions essential to also
tell the method to get
input
objects from
animations for them
the tag
and
that we get
to
now.
make animations correspond to the uh, correspond current
And
agent
that
state. So if agent is moving,
we want to
uh,
set the position of objects that we get.
character
So
should
we need
show the moving, walking,
oh
running,
we need
and so on. Information. The
vectors
agent
that will
has
define
enough
positions, or we can
space
use it by
so
reference. So maybe that way. So
the animation should be either idle or attacking or something like that. Yeah. To know what speed does the agent have at the moment, you
in objects, oh maybe
can access, for example, agent velocity. And as you can see, that's the
now
current
have this
velocity.
item.
And
We want to
for
send
example,
position,
basing on that, you can adjust your.
position as
Okay, regarding the basic use of Navmesh
vector
agent,
tree,
create to create
as
some
max,
to
and
create
we will use the selecting value. Will use
moving agents,
random.
some kind of really simple AI. That's basically all. You